Oh, I'm all crooked.
Hey there.
Hello, good morning.
Joining us. Welcome to My Divine Compass. I am Tara. I am so super excited to be introducing you to one of my dearest friends, Theresa Anne. She is an amazing healer. I met her back in 2011 when we both were attending Southwest Institute of Healing Arts. We had some classes together, and she is such an amazing healer. She is a Reiki master. She is a shamanic healer. She does reflexology. She's an herbalist. She does so many kinds of things. And so when we were talking about what kind of video we were going to do and what we specifically wanted to share with all of you today, we decided we were going to settle on one topic. And I told her that I would be interviewing her multiple times because there's so much I want to share with all of you. So today, what we're going to be sharing with you is something called scientific hand analysis. And I had never heard of this before, Theresa. And she had given me a reading back in 2011. And since then, that was my big hand reading that she gave me. And since then, we've had like little mini things. And so we want to share what scientific hand analysis is with all of you because I'm going to let Theresa explain, but it gives you the most amazing insight into your path in this world. And that is why we've got to share this with all of you. So Theresa, please explain scientific hand analysis and tell us all how you found it.
Okay. So scientific hand analysis is like this happy, beautiful, divine union between ancient palmistry and modern scientific research. And what it's not, scientific hand analysis is not predictive, future telling, kind of telling you what's going to happen. But scientific hand analysis tells you what your personal potential is, where your specific challenges are, and how you can overcome those. So your fingerprints never change. They develop in the womb 5 months before you were ever born. And those fingerprints, based on which finger they're on and what type of fingerprint it is, will tell you your life purpose, your life school, and your life lesson. And then you have hand lines. These are known as major neural pathways in the brain. I totally dig science. It's super cool. But at the same time, the way I found it was in a really spiritual, meditative process. It was back in 2009. Boy, was I in a deep, dark place. And I decided at the end of the year, I was like, no matter what, 2010 is my year, and I'm going to know in detail, not just this overflowing energy of my purpose, but I want details about what I'm supposed to do. So that was my focus. It was a really powerful determination that I felt inside of me. And during that time, I was also practicing meditation regularly. So I would sometimes in meditation meet with my soul or my highest self. And sometimes when I would meet in that place, I would ask for a gift. And so this one particular time, while I'm super determined to know my life's purpose, my soul, had me sit, cross-legged on the ground and cup my hands in front of my heart. And I was like, okay, now what? I thought she was going to give me something in my hand. But instead, my soul told me to look in my hands. So I looked down into my hands, and they had turned into liquid mirrors. I was like, wow, okay, I don't understand. And so I asked, this feels really deep, but I don't know what this means. And my soul just smiled, you know, was like, that's okay. This is my gift to you. This reflection in my hands, a reflection of my soul to me. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Yes.
So, I'm covered in shivers. Okay.
You actually.
So although I could feel the power and that this was really meaningful, I didn't understand. And I thought, okay, do my hands have to stay like this in this cup in order for it to be that gift and that reflection? And all of a sudden, I had flashes of pictures of me driving a car, of me chopping vegetables, and my hands were always liquid mirrors. And I was like, wow, thank you. I don't know what this means, but thank you. And I just knew that it would come. Someday I would know what that meant. Well, within a week or two, I got an email from a mentor I'd been working with, and she was telling those who were mentoring with her about her experience with scientific hand analysis, which I'd never heard of, and that it can help you find your life's purpose. I was like, oh, this is great. Click. You know what I'm saying? So I click on it and I start reading the home page, and it's like all these words that are describing my experiences in meditation and what I wanted to know about my life's purpose in details, right? So I went for it. I'm like, pay, single mom, I'm paying for this. And I was so excited. I can't even tell you. I was so excited. I knew this was my answer to my prayers. And, you know, it was a chunk of change. So I'm like, okay, well, I better go read some more about this on the other pages of this website. And as I was scrolling down, reading about her transformation experience, there was a picture of one of the previous gifts my soul had given to me in a meditation. And so I just felt so validated. I just started bawling my eyes out and just feeling like a hug from spirit, like this is the right thing. This was the best step for me. And I was so excited. And within a month or two, I had the reading. It was just beautiful. So that's how I found it. And that was early 2010. And I started reading all I could. I went to some events, you know, that one of my mentors in hand analysis was running. And then I took the level 1 training and the level 2 year-long training, and absolutely love it. I think it's the best coaching tool out there, and I don't want to negate any others because everyone is awesome, but this is literally in your hands. It's like harder to deny what you've etched in your own hands through the soul vibration in the womb, plus your patterns of thinking and behavior in this life. So pretty amazing.
The other day you mentioned, was it the University of Texas?
Yes.
And there was one other, someone, I forget.
I can't remember which schools are studying so a lot of what the hospital, university, research centers are finding is specific line patterns in the palm are common throughout specific mental disorders. If that makes sense. And some other more physical disorders. Yeah. So I thought that was really interesting. And I don't know much about it, but I thought, wow, that's kind of amazing.
Yeah.
But that's not my focus of expertise, you know?
Sure.
Yeah.
I know you've given me some really amazing information about myself that has helped guide me on my path because of what you told me was in my hands. So when you told me what was in my hands, I 100% resonated with it. I somewhere deep within myself knew what you were telling me, but I didn't know it until you told me. And then when you told me, I was like, yes, that I feel that feels right to me. And so because hand analysis and you gave me that validation to what was kind of stirring in there, and some of what was still covered and not revealed yet, the information that you were able to give to me specifically about myself based on my handprint has helped guide me on my path, because I was able to get clearer, you know? And that is why I want everyone to know about scientific hand analysis, and why I want you all to reach out to Theresa, because if you are on a path where you feel like you aren't really sure which direction to go, or you are trying to unearth some hidden things within you, this is what you need. Now, like what Theresa said, this is not to negate everything else that is, there's so many healing modalities and so many different coaching, actually different coaches out there that can help you find your path and get you on, your path to greatness, basically. Scientific hand analysis has to be a part of this, because it is 100% true you. It's 100% true you, and that's what I love about it. So
it's etched in your body.
Yes, I love that.
Yes, and what is amazing is, for those who actually do know or have a very strong feeling about what their purpose and direction is, but for some reason are feeling blocked or stuck, the life lesson or any challenge markers could help them see, because those are blind spots. Like, I need a hand analyst to help me break through my own lessons, because I know what they are, but we still have trouble seeing ourselves sometimes.
Yes.
So to have something like this, to be able to say, completely validate their purpose, number one, because I know I needed validation for some of my gift markings. And once I had that, I was like, set free in a way, giving myself sole permission by knowing the information. But then if I get stuck or blocked, it's right here. And that tells you, once you're stuck in your lesson and you probably don't know, or even if you know, you still need a little assistance. Once we break through that lesson and learn what we're meant to be learning at that time, it expands the life purpose. Every time we get stuck, that's a message that says your life purpose is ready to grow and expand and go up to that next level of helping other people, is basically what people are here to do, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
I love that.
So it's really helpful.
So one thing I want to share with everyone listening here is that Theresa and I, because we live a few hours apart from each other, we were talking about how do we get this out to you and get you, everyone who's listening, to be able to experience hand analysis with Theresa. And so there are a couple different ways that she does it. One is literally by sending you a hand print kit, and you actually, she's got instructions, and you do the hand print, and then you mail it back to her. She gives you this amazing detailed report that I can't even explain, because I've had it with her, and it's so much, and she goes over it all. So it's such a powerful experience to have with Theresa. But besides that, these lines in our hands, she can actually do. So she and I practiced earlier this week. We were practicing on how she can connect with you to find out just some bits of information. So there are some lines in your hands that she can see. So we did a call just like this, a video, and I stuck my hand up, and she was able to see these lines, and she was able to tell me some information. So she asked me, what lines do you want to know about? And I picked the challenges. I wanted to know what my challenges were in life. What are things that hold me back, so that as I'm continuing in my journey and goal setting and moving forward, what challenges am I going to have? And she's able to tell me that, so that when those challenges appear, I can say, ooh, I knew that this was coming up for me, and now I know how to work through it. If I hadn't had Theresa to tell me that those are the challenges that show up in my hand and what that means, it would be a little difficult to work through those, to even recognize that that's even a challenge for me.
And how important it is.
Yes.
Right? Because some people can see, I'm a little stuck here or there or there. but they don't have much motivation to work through that for whatever reason. But when you see it showing up in your hand, sometimes very deeply, it's really quite a message to say, this pattern really does deserve to change for my own benefit and growth. And as long as I choose not to work through that pattern, I'm going to remain where I am. Mm-hmm. So that's always a choice, right?
Yes.
Been there, done that.
So can you share, without too much, because I don't want to take too much more of your time, but can you share when someone connects with you from this video, and I'm going to be giving you information here in just a minute how to do that, but what are the lines that you can give them information? So I know fate lines, challenge lines,
heart line,
headline.
And it depends on how deeply or clearly I can see through the camera without having handprints, right? So if we just do a short consultation and I don't have handprints, then we could just do what I can see. So this is the heart line. And the heart line, there's 4 basic types. Some people have as many as 3. So hello to complications, but also hello to being able to relate to more types of people. So I think it's pretty amazing. But it's basically your emotional style, how you like to give love, how you like to receive love, and where you may have had some guarding or some anger, some other kinds of things show up, even confusion. So those kinds of things can show up on the heart line. Also, how you recharge your batteries and who your most common or compatible partner might be.
Oh, that's a good one.
What do you like the most? What do you need the most? What do you hate the most? Where's your biggest kind of mistake? Like when you get triggered, right? What do you do? Do you shut down? Do you break down? Those kinds of things. And then the headline is this one, and it starts above the thumb, but either my headline is actually separate from my lifeline. It means I have an independent life headline. I have an independent thinking from my family of origin. And boy, is that true. There's not a lot that we agree on, and that's okay. But this is thinking style. If it's real wavy, you tend to be more emotional with your thinking. If it's nice and straight, it's just less emotional, if that's a really simple way. So not everybody has a lifeline that goes around the thumb. Some, like mine, stop short. Some go way over here. So they all mean different things about somebody. And this is root chakra. So it's, a sense of belonging, your sense of security, your family of origin, your tribe, your community. And it speaks to your strengths and your weaknesses. What are your innate energy abilities? Does that make sense? Your ability to ground down and be present and let go of concerns and just have fun in the moment or relax in the moment. So it can speak to a lot of things. And then the line this one usually starts down here. I say usually, but you never know with billions of people on the planet. And it usually heads up to the middle finger. And that's the Saturn line or fate line. Some people start in the moon. Some might start over here in Venus or slightly across the lifeline. And they all, again, have different meanings.
You know what? I just realized that we didn't talk about earlier when we did this on me, is that my right hand, my head and heart, or these two, right
the
here.
Life and headline.
See how they come together over here?
Yes.
But look at this hand. They're pretty far apart.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very independent headline, which means you have an independent lifeline.
So we need to have a discussion.
We do.
Because we did it with my right hand, and I'm looking at my left hand saying, this is a huge gap right here. So I want to know more about that. So we got to
wonderful.
That.
We'll book it.
Yes, exactly. There's just so much information to know. And isn't it awesome when you get to find out information about yourself? I mean, I've always been a person who just likes to read things about my my horoscope and my Chinese astrology and, you know, just different kinds of things, because it's always exciting to learn about yourself. And so not only is scientific hand analysis exciting to learn about yourself, but it's important information to help guide you in this lifetime. And that is why I all want you to connect with Theresa. So we're going to wrap this up here, but I have to share with you that Theresa normally does a 30-minute consultation with the lines, and her charge is $75, but we discussed it and she wants to offer you 50% off of this. So in the video, so actually under the video, in the links, I'm going to have some links on how you can connect with her. One will be scheduling this with her. You've got 48 hours in order for this to happen. You want to get some information about your hands. She's going to give it to you. You get this discount, this 50% discount for 48 hours from this time. So basically today is Friday, so it runs through Sunday. You got till Sunday. So get it scheduled.
I'd like to add, you know, some people for consultations ask me questions about specific fingers they might have injured, or repeatedly injure, or have arthritis, and those all have specific meanings and ways to work through that as well.
Yes.
So but thank you.
Yes. And on that note, that reminds me to share with all of you, if you go over to mydivinecompass.com, our blog, you will find some articles that Theresa wrote specifically about scientific hand analysis and, for example, the thumb or the right finger and all of that kind of stuff. So this is really, really important information. You know, if you don't know already, we are spiritual beings here having this human experience. So doesn't it just make sense to find out some spiritual information about yourself? I mean, I think it does, right?
I think it's so cool. And I love learning that energy creates patterns, right? That's scientific. Energy creates patterns. So you imagine you're in the womb and your soul energy is infusing patterns in your fingertips. To make different types of prints on specific fingers. It's amazing.
It really is.
Some people have prints in their palm. So those are very significant.
Yes.
So much to discover.
Yeah. I mean, way more than what we could do in a video to share with people.
Right. Yes.
Okay. So I encourage you all to connect with Theresa. Again, you can schedule with her over the next 48 hours in the link below the video. Also, go to her Facebook page. She just created a Facebook page more recently, and it's called the 11th Hour Shaman. So you've got to get over there. Theresa is so connected to spiritual everything. I can't even, she's connected to source, to spirit. She's connected to her ancestors, her guides, I mean, she has worked on me and done many things, and she works on many people. And so let her share with you some information about you, right? Okay. So thank you all. Oh gosh, my pleasure. Thank you for taking the time to be with us today. So, all right, everyone, thank you so much. I appreciate you listening to these videos, and you've got to check Theresa out. So schedule with her. All right, see you next Friday.
Bye. Bye.